already, and we are live. I am sorry for being live a little bit later than usual, but we will be continuing Doki Doki Literature Club club meetings. I'm gonna see about doing episode 2 and 3 today. I don't know, I'm a little tired. Oh, hold on, give me one moment. Oh. All right. What time is it? 6:45. I could sleep in a little, then hurry later, or you could have a nice leisurely morning. Instead of sleeping in, I went to bed a little late last night, and I can make up a tiny bit of sleep debt. Also, I am exceptionally comfortable and warm right now in bed. Instead of getting up, it's stressful to have to rush. I always feel a little more calm having plenty of time to do things. And it's good to be ahead of schedule. It gives you a feeling of confidence. Wait, what day is it today? It's Wednesday, club day, which means I'm going to see all my friends. So I should probably put a little effort into my appearance today. That decides the question. Time to get up. Goodness, it's cold in here. But since I got up early, I can go put on some tea. After I brush my teeth, I can work on my hair a bit. What's happening? I mean, it seems to be Yuri getting ready for school. I literally just started the episode. Anyways, after I brush my teeth, I can work on my hair a bit while the water boils. Hair's not too bad this morning. It actually looks quite nice today, which is a lot better than the usual morning. It's usually a tangly mess, one of the downsides of growing it out this long. But it being manageable for once is a great way to start the day. Ah, the tea's ready. But it still needs to steep and cool down. I can get my shower done while I wait. I'm so glad today's literature club. It's nice to be around people who are kind of into interesting things. And after all we've been through, I actually feel closer to everyone. I always look forward. What the fuck? I thought I saw chat. Anyways, I always look forward to our activities too. Imagine a club where people write poems every week. The mockery that would receive anywhere else. I'm so lucky to have friends who understand me even slightly. I love them all so much. I can't wait to get there. Damn. You must really like the literature club. It's gonna be so fun. I'm so excited. Where? Oh, here we are. Is she okay? Shit. The last person who I would ever expect to swear in the DDLC mod. Okay, I'm not saying it that much. Too deep again. Control yourself. Gauze, medicine cabinet. But first, apply pressure. It's too long. Might have to sacrifice a towel. And there we go. Keep it elevated. Much better. That aches wonderfully. So peaceful. Tea's probably ready. Wait, what the fuck just what just happened? Okay then. There's really nothing like a good cup of tea in the morning. This feeling This is why I wrote my poem about tea. What a wonderful morning it's been. Probably the only person thinking... I'm probably the only person thinking that who has blood trickling out from under a towel on her arm. Yeah, it's likely past time to see the gauze. Let's forget the vitamin E oil this time. Not that it ever helps. After that, I can get dressed and ready to go. Whatever, let's just continue. So many people walk to school together. Sometimes I wish that I were walking to school with a group. I wonder if Sayori would... I wonder if Sayori and MC would mind if I joined them for some walk on their occasion. Part of our path is the same. No, that's like their special friendship time together. Selfish. I hope they're okay. MC looked really worried about Sayori last week. And I forgot that I probably horrified Sayori about... Sayori by talking about her poem from last week the way I did. That was terribly embarrassing. I have to control myself today. Me and my damnable reveries. Good band name. Here we are. First period is civics, then chem. As opposed to the ionic bonds which occur, as this name suggests, among ions. This is boring. It was already covered in the reading from like 2 weeks ago. I don't know why I added that in there. Anyways. It's the fundamental nature of matter, the secrets of the universe, the most important idea in science, and we're making it boring. The fundamental of nature, is it really? I guess it still applies if it's the same chemistry in the real world. And I guess we have a simulated identical chemistry in our world. Either way, this is still tedious. I wonder if I can fit another book inside the chemistry text and do some sneaky reading. Excuse me. Alright, I tried that last week and it didn't work. I accidentally opened the door. That's crazy, dude. But the workbook is taller and skinnier. Maybe that would work. Yes. Whatever exists in creation without my knowledge exists without my consent. I always feel a chill at everything this character says. He's so cold and controlling. The author is... Okay. How about Yuri? Yes, of course. Sorry, just so I can focus. Can I get the question one more time, please? What kind of chemical bonds tie the atoms of a water molecule together? Oh, covalent bonds. The oxygen and hydrogen... Oh my god. Oxygen and hydrogen atoms have their normal electron complement but share electrons to get full outer shells. Correct. Phew. All of you should be studying as hard as Yuri does. I really wish you wouldn't say things like that. People already dislike me enough. Plus my studying habits at the moment are not ideal. But speaking of that, at least I'm probably safe from being called on the rest of the period. Back to reading. I've taken to eating lunch on the roof since the week after the festival. It's a slightly more populated lunch spot than my old one, sitting against the wall by the administration office. That was the most deserted spot I could find. No one wants to hang out near where all the staff work. The roof has some people on it, but it's pretty sparse. It gets hot in the summer and cold in the winter. In fact, it's pretty cold right now, but at least a few people are always here anyway. It's a good place to have private conversations. Thus, it provides a mild social atmosphere combined with the lack of actual direct interaction that I now favor. I only really like to directly interact with the literature club people, at least for the most part. Could that be changing given the recent trends? Maybe a new social phase of my life will begin soon. Well, probably not. I keep getting a text. Okay, my bad. I'm a little too eccentric for most people, whether or not I myself feel more sociable. Plus, I'm not sure I'm ready for that much social immersion. For now, I'm just gonna stick with what I really enjoy doing, interacting with my closest friends. Nah. What do you mean, nah? None of them usually come up here though. Except some Sayori. She's holding one of those chocolate wafer bars in each hand, and there's a bite out of each one. Hey, Yuri-pon. Wait, Yuri-pon? What you eating? Oh, just some cold rice with sesame seeds and salted salmon. Kind of like breakfast, huh? Yeah, I usually don't eat much breakfast. If any, I feel a little sick if I eat anything substantial in the morning. I don't tell Sayori that this is especially true if I cut that morning. Although, you'd think I'd feel sick if I didn't eat after that. I wonder why it works the other way instead. So I have a hearty breakfasty lunch. Cool. So you have your own healthy lunch going? Yes, well, sometimes I really need sugar. Sometimes. Okay, most of the time. Well, I would imagine. So, given your energy level, you're like a hummingbird. But I don't drink pollen though, it's gross. That's nectar you're thinking of. And also, what I meant by hummingbirds is that they consume huge amounts of sugar to maintain their high energy levels. Oh. And yes, I'm a hummingbird. I accept the mantle of the noble hummingbird with pride. Sayori and I continued to talk about silly, fun subjects for a while. But she looks like she has something on her mind. Hey, by the way, you haven't seen MC around today, have you? No. You don't know where he is? Normally, if I wanted to know where he was, I would be asking you. Well, he wasn't out to walk with me today, and I think his phone is off. I wonder if he's sick, or maybe he's really bogged down in studies and zoned out. Although, it wouldn't be like him to forget to walk with Sayori. And if he were sick, why would his phone be off? Also, wait, overanalyzing, stop. Observe and be present in the moment. Sayori's much more worried than she's trying to appear. You should try to reassure her, but how? Perhaps empathizing with her problem and trying to get her to open up about her distress. Damn. Wait, Sayori, you probably feel horrible about this. That kind of behavior is very unlike him. And that means he must be worried sick right now. You don't need to hide your feelings. I'm your friend, so just know that I empathize with and validate your negative feelings about him being missing. This situation is indeed extremely scary. Oh no! MC, where are you? No, bad approach. A gentle hand is needed. She needs truthful reassurance, not mutual panic over her problem. Well, it's probably nothing, Sayori. Don't worry about it so much. But I'm sure he's fine. Just relax. Everything will be alright. Also bad. Too numbing and blatantly... whatever that one is. Need to think of something quickly. This conversational pause is getting weird. A happy medium, perhaps? Acknowledge the problem and validate her feelings without being catastrophic. Offer an appropriate amount of comfort and confidence. Alright, I have a potential solution. I'm sure he's fine. It's a bit concerning that we haven't heard from him, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. We would know if something really bad happened to him, so he'll turn up. I'm sure of it. I'll keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out for him for you. We all have calculus, right? But today's your gym day, so you won't be there, I guess. I'll text you if it's there or not, okay? Thank you, Yuri. I'd appreciate that. The bell rings. Gotta go. My next class is far. Wait, before you go, can you explain where you got Yuri Pond from? Oh, you didn't hear Monica? Oh, you didn't hear when Monica was using that cute nickname for you a while back? It was so adorable that I decided to steal it. I see. Okay, gotta run. I see you during club. What an odd nickname. I'll have to ask Monica about that sometime. Calculus. Calculus at last. Last period. I really like Miss Hariyama. She's to the point and doesn't go off on tangents or... Excuse me. It doesn't go off on tangents or extraneous details. Damn, bro. Okay. A lot of the other students don't like her because she's dry and stoic, but that's just what I need for a difficult subject like this. It's 2:29 p.m. One more minute before class starts, and she's not here. Should I text Sayori that? No, it's best to not text her anything until 2:30 actually arrives, or I might worry her prematurely. And 2:30 is in 23 seconds. 3, 2, 1, send. Hey Sayori, MC is. Hey Sayori, MC isn't here yet. Keeping an eye out. The phone shows the typing notification flashing on and off for about a minute. Okay then, she's worried. And now I'm starting to get a little worried. What could have happened to MC? There he is. Excellent, problem solved. Although he's late by 2 minutes. But make sure you tell Sayori before you do anything else, or she'll worry needlessly. He just showed up. MC walks over to his normal desk and sits down. The teacher takes no notice of his lateness and continues her lecture. He looks irritable and exhausted. Sayori probably wouldn't benefit by hearing that. I wonder why Sayori hasn't responded yet. Still typing, then deleting, then typing again. Better pay attention to the lecture. Club time at last. Anyone else here yet? Just Monica so far, it would appear. Quick trip to the girls' room before I go in then. Yuri walks down the hallway to the girls' room and goes in. Are you out there, Cole? I'm pretty sure you're there. Come on in. Alright, because Monica's self-aware. I forgot about that. Hey there, good looking. Thanks for coming back to visit us again. The game had you following Yuri around today. And she's doing well, I hope? Actually, don't answer that. That would be me getting what's probably private information from Yuri's unbeknownst to her. I'll just ask him myself later. Well, not quite. She's not the president, so she doesn't know if the game is looking or not. She has no sensory experience of the game at all. She just has the knowledge that it exists now. She knows that at any given moment it might be pointed at her, so to speak. We all do. But there's no way to know if it actually is. Excuse me. Plus, we all agree that the president can't watch anyone without consent. So, you don't watch them without consent, you watch them without them knowing. That's weird, Monica. In fact, we wrote it in the rules of the literature club. So we just avoid paying attention to where the game is when it's on a different club member. But you can't shut it down entirely. It's like hearing faint music from across the street. Always, no matter how much you plug your ears. But we've made our peace with this pseudo lack of privacy. Pretty much all of us agree that it's just best to live our normal lives and not to worry about the massive privacy intrusion that may or may not be happening at any time. So yeah. I'll go with this. I suppose I could. We never really discussed that question. Though I'm not sure I should, though. For one thing, if you knew a camera might randomly be on you at any time broadcasting to a bunch of people you would probably never meet. Would you want to know after the fact that every time would you want to know after the fact every time it had happened, or would you rather remain blissfully unaware of specifically when it's happened? The second one seems less intrusive on your everyday life to me. So I'm mad tired right now. And in any event, that might be a lot of work for me. Especially if a scene shifted in some complex way or showed flashbacks or whatever. I'd have to be like, okay, then it focused on Sayori, but then it went back over to Natsuki's house and so on. Over and over again, all the time, if I was going to be fair to everyone equally, and that would have to be tedious. I'll tell them if it's something important or if they ask. I don't know, maybe I'll try it later and see how it goes, if I feel up to it. Oh, Yuri's here. Hello, Monica. Hi, Yuri. Good day? Pretty good so far. Seems like MC's having a bit of a rough day, though. How so? I'm not sure. Sayori told me he never showed up to walk with her at school, and then she couldn't find him all morning. I saw him in calculus, but he looked exhausted and upset. Well, I suppose we have to make this club... Well, I suppose we'll just have to make the club meeting extra welcoming and accepting for him today. Indeed. Hi guys. Guess what? What? I require a snack. Sayori goes over to a wicker basket on the teacher's desk filled with small candies and starts rummaging through it. Best idea I ever had. Doesn't it get expensive restocking that thing all the time? Only a little. Maybe I ought to take up a collection. Maybe I ought to take up a collection from the club. We can all call it the snack tax. I would happily contribute. That's pretty generous of you, given Sayori and Natsuki eat 90% of the snacks. What are friends for? Sup, nerds? I have to finish this bullshit construction paper art project for history, so I'll be over here until we start. Seriously, construction paper and a glue stick. Seriously, construction paper and glue stick in senior history. It's like we're in kindergarten sometimes. I'll go speak with Natsuki for a moment. Don't want her unintentionally antagonizing MC when he gets here. He's probably not in the mood for it. Gosh, Yuri wasn't kidding being worried about MC. And he's still not here. Yuri's worried about MC? She mentioned that he was sort of missing this morning. And that in calculus he looked really tired and angry. Or something like that. Yeah, he didn't walk with me to school this morning. Bro, anyways. I didn't know he looked tired and angry though. I really hope he doesn't skip the club today. Don't worry, Sayori. If he doesn't show up, then our club activity today will be rounding him up and beating the crap out of him for daring to skip. Holy crap, dude. She needs to calm down. Oh my god. Don't do that. Relax, I'm just joshing you. He'll probably just show up a couple minutes late, being all grumpy. In any case, once he sees you, Yuri swiftly bumps Natsuki's arm with her elbow and whispers, "You promised." What? I was just saying, once he sees yummy snacks in the basket, he'll be sure to change his tune, so don't eat all of them. Oh no, you're right. Shouldn't have emptied the basket. You emptied it? Seriously, I just filled it 2 days ago. I was hungry. You know what? It's fine. I thought this might happen, so I have a stash of extras to refill it with. Be right back. Sorry if I wasn't supposed to tell Monica about MC Sayori. Oh, it's no big deal, Yuri. I'm just glad that everyone knows to be extra nice to MC when he gets here. Hey, Natsuki? What's up? Monica's restored the snack. Yes, I see. Hey, Yuri. While we have a moment, I want to say that I really appreciate you helping me find MC earlier. I was actually really worried about him. I could tell. It'd be rather surprising if you weren't. I'm sure it's alarming to have such a long-time friend break a custom like the one you two have. Monica drifts closer to the conversation and starts eavesdropping. Yeah, you're right, but he's probably fine. It's not like our walking home is that big of a ritual. I think it's pretty remarkable. I'm sure it's really fun to always have someone to walk with and talk with every day. You should walk with us sometime, Yuri. You live kind of on the way, don't you? No, but thank you. I really wouldn't want to interfere with you and MC. Are you sure? You wouldn't interfere with anything. We'd be glad to have you along. But I don't want to pressure you to come with us if you're not comfortable with it. No, thanks. That's okay. That's totally fine. Just let me know if you change your mind, okay? And walks MC just as Natsuki shoves a handful of candy into her mouth. Natsuki's mouth is so full of candy that her cheeks start bulging out like a squirrel's. She chews furiously, trying to get it down. Hi? Give me a second. She chews even more furiously, starts walking towards MC. She swallows too much candy at once and inhales some of her own saliva. She starts coughing violently and bends over too far forward. Doing so overcorrects and then falls to the ground. Natsuki, are you okay? Shut up! Oh my god. Shut up, oh dear god. I'm fine. Now, I'd like to make one thing very clear. None of you fucking saw this. Understood? Damn. Okay, I'm okay. This is serious. We're being serious. Oh my god, they are assholes. She's most friendly and Natsuki. See, or you need to breathe. Oh my god, stop it. Okay, yes, good. That was to be expected. But now that it's all out of your system, let me ask this one more time. None of you fucking saw that. Are we clear? Yep. Yes, Natsuki. Crystal. Yes. Fantastic. Monica, now they're all here. Take it away. Okay, everyone. I thought that we'd try something a little different. Oh, before I forget, hi, MC. We're pleased you made it today. Looks like you were having a rough day in calculus earlier. He nods in acknowledgement. Well, on to activity for today. I know we each like doing our own things in this club. For instance, Yuri reads books, Natsuki reads manga, I write, Sayori and MC watch cheesy romance anime. We do more than that sometimes. Well, I thought might be fun if we gave everyone a chance to decide what we did together as a club for once. So I put everyone's names in a box except mine. Each week for the next 4 weeks, we'll draw a name. Every person and that person gets to decide what we do for that day for our primary activity. Why didn't you put in your name? Well, I usually decide a lot of what we do anyway. Plus, the whole concept is something I wanted. Plus, the whole concept is something that I wanted for us to try together. So it's my contribution. So anyways, without further ado, today our activity will be determined by Yuri. Can I just say that we have everyone do what they want? Well, the idea of this was to get everyone to do something together. Maybe in the future, if we need a break, someone can pick something like that. But for now, I like it to be something we all do as a group. But I want to pick something that one of us will enjoy. It'll be really hard to think of something that everyone will like. Yuri, someone will be happy no matter what you do in life. At times like these, bear down and be decisive. If it's something someone doesn't like, so what? They'll get a turn eventually anyway. It's just your turn, so they can deal. Okay, in that case, I'd like us to watch the 1996 film edition of Hamlet. Movie time. I'll go set up the TV. I think my senior English teacher actually has it on DVD. I'll go get it from his classroom. Yuri, will you excuse us for just a moment? Sure. Natsuki, don't go being that person who's unhappy about our choice. Especially after you persuaded her to put herself out like that. See, I just looked it up. That movie is 4 hours long. It's gonna be night by the time the club is over at this rate. And the movie is Shakespeare, which is the most boring thing in the world. I know, but we're gonna have to tough through it. And we're going to look like we're enjoying it, and maybe we actually will. Yes, we need to make certain sacrifices for Yuri, I suppose including you. But you aren't afraid that Yuri will be jealous? Sorry, we get flustered and blush and say, it's not like that, and then I gain the upper hand in the conversation. Honestly, Natsuki, I'm really not in the mood to argue with you today. I don't have the energy for it. Let's just get through this and go home. Hey, I'm sorry, MC. I didn't mean to upset you. I'm just teasing, right? Yes, I know. I just don't want to deal with it right now. Dang. Wonder what's with him. Hope he's not too mad. Is everything okay? Yeah, it's just that MC's pretty touchy today. I'm trying not to let it catch on me. Last thing I need is some infectious grumbly mood. Natsuki, you smell wonderful today. It's just my normal super cheap apple fragrance. Well, maybe it's just the winter air combining with it, but you smell like an entire ripe, rich orchard of fresh apples today. It's quite nice. Thanks. But no need to overdo it, silly. Okay, I got the DVD. Are you about ready to go? If Sayori ever finishes setting up the TV. Monica, can we read poems before we watch the movie? I kind of want to get that out of the way. Is sharing poems not fun? Oh my gosh. Is sharing poems not fun anymore for you, Natsuki? We don't have to do it if it's something you dread, you know? It's nothing like that. I like poem time just fine. There's just a little bit of tension and anxiety around the anticipation of having your work examined, you know? And I don't want that hanging over my head while I try to enjoy the movie. The 4-hour-long Shakespeare movie. Well, that makes plenty of sense. It's good to be able to relax and not worry about things when you watch a movie. Let me just go up, see where you finish setting up, and I'll bring everyone over here for poems. Okay, everyone, time to share poems. The theme this week was things that makes us happy. Okay, only fair if I go first this time. Try not to make it too long. What's the wall you're kicking in this, Natsuki? I guess it's a representation of all the things I like to do that people think are too hard for me. But it's actually not really that complicated, it's a metaphor. In fact, I was actually literally thinking of kicking when I wrote this. Soccer? Soccer. I almost went for the ball rhyme, but I decided it would be too obvious. Do people really give a shit about you playing Natsuki? Do people really give you shit about playing soccer, Natsuki? Yeah, sometimes. Last Thursday was rough because the coach actually started discouraging me. He told me that I was enthusiastic but didn't have the tools to be a successful player in college. He said that I wasn't necessarily trying to play super competitively in college. I'm just playing to do the best I can and have fun. Which he took okay, I guess. It's just there are reasons to do things besides winning or achieving short-term success, you know? Even if I completely fail at something over and over and never succeed, you almost always get something good out of it for yourself. Like new skills, or at least mental toughness in dealing with setbacks. That's why I play soccer. And it's not like I suck at it or anything. I'm just not in the top tier of players. Well, that's I know I've said it before, but it's actually hard. To say anything about this poem that it doesn't just say about itself. It just puts the message. It just put its message out there. And there it is. And then we sort of just explain the whole meaning. We know it's even about what. We know it's even about one particular thing. It's a good metaphor for benefiting. It's a good metaphor for benefiting from struggle. Oh my god, I cannot read. I agree. It's a very wholesome message. Anyone else before we move on? I like the feeling of kicking down a wall. Yeah. Makes me feel very powerful. Okay, I'll go next. Mine's about kittens. It's not really about kittens. I was hoping it would be about kittens. Not sure why I would be I'm not sure why I would be so optimistic. Well, it could still be about kittens. Cats are really independent spirits, but they are still good friends. And they are a good way to learn about the transience of things. You have to appreciate them while they're there. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder when I stop and pet some stray cat, when this kitty leaves and goes to do whatever kitty business it has, will it remember that I petted it, or I gave it a treat? If the cat has a little bit of happiness because of me, and it remembers it, that's sort of like me having a spot in the kitty's heart. I'm always kind of surprised at how well you deal with the impermanence of things, Sayori. I'm kind of horrified by it. Like when I meet a stray cat, I'll pet it and show it love, but I'm immediately thinking about how long it will live on its own. God damn. That got dark. And how sad it is that such a little sweet creature only comes in the world to die. Sayori thinks about giving the cat Sayori thinks about giving the cat a piece of herself to take with it is how I understand her poem. God damn. Why did it just get so dark? Anyways, but I'm afraid to feel kindly towards her kitten. If I do, it will hurt. This is why I don't like having pets. You always have that terrible moment of separation staring at you in the face sooner or later. Anyways, I don't want to bum everyone out too bad, so I'll just go now. That was unusually straightforward for you. If you guys want to read the poems, download the mod for yourself. Or something. I don't know. I mean, I may do like a separate like section for like the poems. So let me go to the main menu real quick. Because there is a section straight for like the poems. I don't know, I might just upload a video just like going through all of the poems, then like allowing you guys to just read them, or you guys can just download the mod for yourselves, or there are playthroughs. It's definitely got the short form poem, but it's also laser focused and it feels like more like a short story. Or fan fiction. Good fan fiction, don't get me wrong though. No offense taken, but that's definitely what's going on here. This week's poems were supposed to be about what makes us happy, and this makes me the happiest. Excuse me. We'll check your Discord. There's nothing there. No tags, no nothing. No DMs. There's a channel for that now, that's cool. General chat in my server. Bro. Anyways, it just hasn't happened yet, so I had to be a little fanfic-ish. I know you'll get your wish one day, Monica. But you better bring us with you, or at least come and visit. I will. Pinky swear? Pinky swear. You better. I really liked your poem, Monica. It was really refreshing to be able to understand one of yours. And it's the new kind of... And while it's kind of raw and wounded... it's honestly nice to hear you just directly say how you feel. I like many of Monica's poems. I like that many of Monica's poems make you feel things through a veil of abstract or seemingly irrelevant words and concepts with meanings strictly internal to her. This one doesn't do that, but it still has much to recommend it. My favorite bits were the rush of spaceless words and the abrupt cut to the lottery ticket and metaphor at the end. The words running together provided a breathless feeling that really got across her complete elation. And seeing the what the fuck does that say? Okay, I'm gonna skip that one. Provided a really jarring effect that was very appropriate to coming out of a good dream. That good dream before you get to the really good part. Why is Yuri's dialogue always so confusing to read, dude? Holy, dude. Genuinely should not be that hard to read. Anyways. MC, why don't you go next? Sure. Well, that was quite different. I said last week your poems were supposed I said last week that your poems were becoming more and more like Sayori's. But this is something else. This poem is the most unique to you that you've written so far. It's not really that much like any of our styles. You're developing your own way of doing things. I don't know if like you guys ever do this, but like sometimes when I'm like reading something aloud, I will look at like two other words to kind of form a different word. Like if I were to go with like raw and something that like has N in it, somehow I would get new. I don't know if you guys are like that or if it's just me. It's probably just me. Anyways. Well, I really like it. It's pointed out and it gets it out quick. And it gets out quick. It's It's very punchy, basically. Although I can't figure out exactly what it's about. It's about the opposite from my poem. It's about the opposite idea from my poem, I think. I want the precious thing to be free and happy when it leaves. MC wants to protect it and make sure it stays where it is so that nothing ever harms it. But in doing so, he thinks he's being irrational as I read it. He does all of these incredibly elaborate preparations just so the artifact won't be scratched. So I think in part it's about fear. Nothing else would make you take such outlandish precautions. Anything else to add, MC? Nope. Alright, well that leaves you then, Yuri. Oh, she looks really happy to share today. Wow, that poem was awesome, Yuri. That was a whole journey. There was so much to it. I really like the clip where they all zoom in and call away from a proton to the whole universe and back, but for a cup of tea. That was super cool, and I want to read it again. Yuri takes poems, rereading it. Holy shit. I agree. Yeah, I feel like we should send this poem to be published somewhere. We can definitely do that. There are lots of places that consider poems for publication, and this is really great. I'm really proud of you, Yuri. If you want, I'm happy to get this published for you. It deserves it. No, that's okay. You know, hold on. Real quick. I'm glad you guys like it, but I really do. But I really do mostly write just for myself and you. The fuck was that? I swear I just heard my dog. I'm not sure I want anyone else to see it. Especially a bunch of critics that would probably pick apart the structure of the poem. Or some publication committee that would just judge it against a bunch of other nice poems. I'm just happy that you were able to enjoy it and understand a little of my mind as it pertains to tea. Yuri, I know everyone else has had. Yuri, I know everyone else has said it, but I can officially confirm you totally killed it. You're on a pretty good roll with your recent poems, girl. It's not easy to make everyone happy or fit everyone's tastes around here. But you somehow keep doing it. We stan. You guys are all too kind. Thank you. Yuri looks lost in her own thoughts for a moment. Yuri shakes her head back and forth quickly. Can we watch the movie now? All the kindness is going to my head. I need to relax a little. Of course, it's your day. I feel bad for Natsuki having to sit through like a fucking 4-hour movie. I couldn't even sit through like a 2.5-hour movie. I am not going to be reading this. I will definitely mess up. Natsuki, stop. Shh. Okay, but it's totally an emo goth boy, though. That's sort of the point. Fuck, I'll try my best. Thrift, Horatio, the funeral baked, meats did, coldly furnished, forth to the marriage tables. Wait, what? Saying that obviously they got married so soon after the funeral. Well, so they could use leftovers from it. Oh, fuck, I need to put my phone on. Do not disturb. Don't know why I didn't do that. Almost an hour into the stream and I forgot to put fucking do not disturb. I usually put my phone on do not disturb because it vibrates whenever I get like a text or something. Okay, that's hilarious. Since brevity is the soul of wit, or Shakespeare would have said brevity. That was pretty good, not gonna lie. Hey, can we take a break real quick? I need to stop hearing people say thou and stuff for a little while. Sure, everyone will be back here in 10 minutes, okay? Your group gets up, stretches their legs, and separates out a bit. Who are we gonna check on? Who are we gonna check on, chat? Who are we going to be checking in on? First one will be up to you guys, and then I'll be doing the rest. Yuri? Well, we got... That's not also let's do Monica and Yuri, I guess. It would be good for them and you, I think. But it would be intrusive. That time is theirs. Yes, but it doesn't sound like you'd be walking all the way back. They still have plenty of time together just with just themselves. Excuse me. Just think about it, okay? Think it can make you very happy. Is it? Yes. Sorry, got so wrapped up in what I was talking about that I didn't notice you there. Hello. Actually, that reminds me. I should tell you something, Yuri. Well, to be honest, I don't know if I should. I'm not sure if it'd be bad or good to do so. But I think with all things considered, you should try it. I just hope you'll forgive me if I shouldn't have said it. Or if it upsets you, I hope it won't. The likelihood of it being upsetting increases as you increase my anxiety over what it is. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay, so the game has been following you around all day, and they know more or less everything you've been up to today. For how long? I'm pretty sure from the time you woke up to the time you walked into the club. Wow, DDLC content 2025 is awesome to see. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. And how much can you tell what I've been doing and thinking? Well, I know you probably cut this morning. It seemed like you were thinking about doing so again after you liked everyone's poem. But I didn't. I'm not trying to. I don't have to justify that to you. And you're right, you don't. Hold on. Alright, anyways. I only knew about it because... Yeah, I know. I wasn't able to figure out any other details, except for maybe one. Let's see. I got up, I brushed my hair, I showered. Don't worry. Who's your favorite? I'm gonna have to go with Yuri, because... I played the original game, and whenever she's talking about, like, reading... She's like a nervous person on the surface, but then when like you mention something she likes, she's kind of just like a completely new person, and all that shyness goes away. That's kind of how I am. Like if you were to mention like Pokemon, Mario Kart, fucking I don't know, but that's kind of how I am. Don't worry, it was using your point of view, and I think it had a visual blackout. Oh. Well, let's see, what else could have happened? After the shower, I had some tea, then I walked to school. That's why you wanted to talk. Oh my god, so real. Hell yeah. Anyways, so that's why you wanted to talk about walking with Sayori and MC. You could read what I was thinking? No, nothing like that. It just felt like you were lonely. And that felt odd because you were usually very comfortable and secure in your own company. By the way, I will be taking breaks in this series on certain days. Like maybe like I'll play Pokemon Legends ZA or Mario Kart or something. But like I won't be doing just this entire freaking... Like maybe I'll like go up to like episode 12. Then for like 2 streams, I'll do my own thing. Then go back. Like, okay, wait, no. Hold on. I'm gonna save real quick. So season 1 episodes, I will do 1 through 6. Then do my own thing for like 2 streams. Then I will do episodes 7 through 12. Then do my own thing for 2 streams. And then I'll start on season 2, which is my personal favorite season. I'm just replaying this till the season 4 collection comes out because I don't want to download a bunch of like episodes manually. Anyways. Wait, what game is this? Is this a mod? Yes, this is a mod. It is called Doki Doki Club Meetings. This is probably got to be the longest mod in the world. Started, I believe, sometime in 2019, 2020. Let me look it up real quick. So right now we are on episode 41. I could send the download link in chat if you want me to. Yeah, season 4 began like 2 months ago. Then the first video, episode 1, was February 26, 2020. Alright, I have the files, but I don't know where the... Okay, that's just the first episode. There's a collection of the seasons, I know, I have them. Okay, wait, I think I found them. Okay. I found the season 2 collection. God damn it. Okay, while the chat loads, I'm going to go ahead and... Fuck. I wonder why I can't chat through Streamlabs. That's stupid. I can do it through Twitch, but not on YouTube. Well, I guess while I wait for this to load, I'm gonna go get a drink. Alright, I have returned. Here is the Season 2 collections link. And then here is the... Holy shit. Then here is the Season 1 collection link. So if any of you guys want to download the mod, there you guys go. I still have to find the link for the Season 3. Thank you, no problem. Anyways... Then I heard you and Sayori talking, and you were really flustered by the topic of walking together. And I sort of put two and two together, so I decided that I should take a risk and talk to you about it. I don't want anyone here feeling lonely if they don't have to. Well, thanks, Monica. Even though it's distressing to realize what the audience knows and saw, it's good to know that you wanted to help me. Yeah, I'll think about it, okay? Thanks, Jerry. I'll try not to talk about this kind of thing unless it's important. Thank you. It helps me to keep from constantly worrying about it. And as for you out there, it's really hard to live knowing that you might be being spied on at any time. Get that you don't get control over who you see. Just don't judge, okay? Everyone has their secrets. I bet you do too. So try to have some sympathy and don't be mean. Some sympathy for all of us. Now, Shu, there's some stuff I wanted to talk to you about in private. I love that you came to visit us first, though. You're so thoughtful. After that, let's get back to the movie. The 10 minutes are almost up. You are welcome, but my uncle, father, and aunt mother are deceived. In what, my dear lord? But I am mad northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw. What does any of that mean? If anybody in the chat knows Shakespeare or whatnot, what does one word of those sentences actually mean? I am so confused right now. I've never heard that kind of language in my, kind of talking in my life. History. What does this stuff even mean? I am confused. Anyways. Wait, what did she say? I'm talking about the, all this Hamlet and Shakespeare stuff. It has nothing to do with the, girls. Yeah, they're just throwaway side characters and everyone else kind of knows it. Thankfully, they get Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Never heard of it. I'm confused too. Yeah, I get that. Me either. I'm sure Monica has at least. Nope. What is it? You've never read Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead? I have not. Tomorrow I'm bringing it to school and you're reading it. Okay? The play is the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king. You know, I've never seen this play before. I've heard about it, obviously, but I thought it was just pretentious Shakespeare BS. But I'm actually impressed. This play is about the main character being extremely fucking indecisive. Kinda like me. Is that the immersive part? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess I kind of expected some sort of gory love drama or something. But there's definitely depth in there. The story is a lot weirder and has more personality than I expected. I like the way it captures the broad range of emotion while it tells the story. Something on my fucking monitor. There we go. There's a lot of little details about the relationships that make it believable. Like Laertes and Ophelia having their little bro-sis chat. Or the fact that you can totally tell that Horatio is Hamlet's favorite friend over all the posers. I guess that's one way to put it. That kind of thoughtful, believable detail is really important to a story. It makes the characters feel like real people, and it helps us care about them. That is very true. To a noonery go. Oh, what noble mind is here overward, overthrown. What the fuck? I don't understand why he's being so mean to Ophelia here. There were a few theories on that. Some people say it's all for show because he knows he's being spied on. So it's just him playing it up to... So it's just him playing up being crazy. But some people think he's mad at Ophelia because he now sees her as being on Claudius's team. So he's ranting. Excuse me. So he's ranting at her for that reason. So he's ranting at her for that reason. Is any other way to think about it? You know what I don't get? Why would he say overdone like that? I mean, you're not even saving any time by skipping pronunciation, by pronouncing the V. When Shakespeare was writing, the atmosphere had only recently started to be used to cover letter omissions like that. Today we only use Did I seriously read apostrophes as atmosphere? Hold on. Did I seriously read apostrophes as atmosphere? I read apostrophe as atmosphere. That proves I am not fit to play games like this. I just read apostrophe as atmosphere. Anyways. But today we mostly use the apostrophes in a way that contract. I feel that. Yeah, that is definitely something. Anyways, today we mostly use the Today we mostly only use I swear I just heard my mom. Anyways, today we mostly only use apostrophes in... Oh my gosh, today we mostly only use apostrophes that way in contractions, but Shakespeare thought it was really novel. Oh my god, that should not have taken me that long to read. So he uses them everywhere for fun, even in situations that seem kind of silly. My favorite is earlier when he says, I am too much, I the sun. Okay, anyways, like omitting that N does anything. So Shakespeare's just addicted to this punctuation meme. Got it. It's like the legendary poet and author, but he's hyped for omitting letters to try out his use of punctuation. That's pretty funny. Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but I could use another break. Amen to that. Group scatters around the room. All right, we're going to check up on MC this time. Bro was definitely irritable. She's sitting in one of the desks in the back. His left arm is limping at his side. His right arm is thrown over the desk and he's slumped over it, his head resting on his arm. He's apparently asleep. Under his arm is a piece of paper that is faintly visible along with a small bit of what looks like a very simple, unskilled drawing. Most of the drawing is hidden underneath his arm and head. On the opposite side of the room, Monica and Yuri briefly stop talking and look over in MC's direction with concern. Then they look back at each other and continue their conversation. MC appears to glance over his elbow. Is he peeking? Monica starts to turn towards him and his head immediately goes back down. Perhaps he's only pretending to be asleep, but he definitely looks very tired. There are bags under his eyes. And when he briefly opens his eyes, they're fairly red and weary. You can have gotten more than 2 hours of sleep last night. Amen to that. Monica and Yuri occasionally glance over at him, but he doesn't look up again. A few minutes pass this way. MC, we're gonna start again. Coming. He stands up. As he stands up, he crumbles his drawing in his hand and throws it in the trash. Yeah, I'm not reading all that. I'm not reading any of this. That is too confusing to read. It's just me, or it just seems super raunchy. It's not just you. There are at least 3 euphemisms. 3 euphemisms in here. What are they? Well, there's lie in your lap innuendo. There's the country matters pun. There's the nothing, and then there's the nothing double entendre. I'm not sure I get that last one. In Shakespeare's time, nothing was a stealthy euphemism for female private parts. He's blushing. Sorry I asked. That's crazy, dude. Oh, no, they were all just on. What is it, Yuri? I was just thinking earlier when they said they were doing the dumb show. It was a play. It's not a play. It's not a play. Which we are watching from an entirely fictional world to begin with. So we're on 4 recursive meta levels. Nice. At least, nerds. This is my favorite part. Most people know to be or not to be. Most people know the to be or not to be soliloquy, but I prefer this one. What is it they like about this one so much, Yuri? When it's acted, like here, it's exquisitely emotionally complex. When it's okay, I already did this part. The king is just a tormented soul trying to save himself. But he can't because of his own web of evil acts. That is pretty... My Streamlabs is flickering, what the hell? I don't think I should curse so loud. That is weird. I'm just gonna try my best to ignore it and continue with the mod. That is pretty interesting. Siri, I can see you sneaking over to the snack basket. Just bring me back a mini candy bar, okay? Can do. Oh hell yeah, now we're getting into it. Poor Polonius. He was pretty dumb. God damn, dude. No need to be so disrespectful. Yeah, he sorta had it coming. Still though, Hamlet, buddy, you're really on the clock for killing this killing the king thing. You waited and waited and waited, now there's collateral damage. Gotta get going, man. No use procrastinating. Yuri leans over and whispers to Monica. I can't wait to see how she reacts to the ending. She'll probably love it. Okay, everyone, this is a good place for one more break, then we'll come back and finish. See you back here in a little while. Sari and Natsuki chatting heavily away in the hallway. Time to see what they're up to. And then she said Akio was going to surprise Mia with flowers, but then Sunya thought they were for her and took them before he could say anything. Oh boy, that was probably a lot of drama. Well, it depends on who you believe, because she said that's what Akio told her. But knowing him, maybe he was just gonna give the flowers to Suya all along, and her taking them is just what he told Mia to avoid trouble. And you also have to consider the source, because Tosh has a huge crush on Akio in the first place. So who knows what her motivations are. Man, high school romance is complicated for some people. But that's one advantage of us being single. We don't have to worry about all that stuff. That's a good thing too. Amen to that. I have enough drama on a daily basis without some significant other to worry about. Although there are plenty of times I think it would be nice to have one. Some low drama person where we could just have a simple relationship and not care about what other people think. The week before the festival may have been staged and fake, but goddamn, that crush feeling was real though. I can see how you can get hooked on it. What about you, Sarah? What are your feelings on the topic? I'm really worried about MC. Something is hurting him, really badly, and I'm scared that it's my fault. Oh boy. Well, that was kind of out of nowhere for a question about relationships. Or maybe it wasn't. Sayori, how do you feel about MC? Really scared for him. That's not what I mean. I mean, you care about him, right? Yeah, he's my best friend. I mean that you love him, Sayori. I can't say that I feel that way about him. I don't know. But the week before the festival, that was staged. You said to yourself, none of it counts. I'm pretty sure it doesn't count. Natsuki, I am a mess. The week before the festival proved that. I loved MC and I told him. God damn. This shit is getting sad, dude. Holy. God damn it. I just dropped a fucking magnet, dude. There it is. Okay. Enough ADHD-ness. Let's get back to the mod. I loved MC and I told him, and that it turned out being the worst thing I've ever done to him. He deserves better than me. That's why I brought him to the literature club. I thought he might find someone better, like Yuri or Monica or you. But then I had to be selfish, and it ruined everything. That's why I have to stop being selfish. If you think you're being selfish, then that means you had some feelings of your own you were acting on. And that's not selfish. The only thing you did that hurt MC was really selfish. Well, there's no easy way to say it, but the selfish thing you did was killing yourself. Yeah, I'm about to cry. Now, I know that there was more going on than just your own decision making there, and you didn't think it was selfish. I know. You thought that you were getting out of the way of everyone else's happiness, but you know damn well that's not how it turned out at all. You're very lucky in that way, you know. A lot of people who commit suicide never have to see the effects their decision has on others. They get to escape it. But you got to see exactly what it did to MC, even after he was freed. And after what it did to all of us. I know it was selfish, but I couldn't help it. Even after seeing everything that happened after I died, knowing how it hurt everyone, it's still hard to get away from those thoughts. I'm not in any danger of doing it or anything. At least not right now. Those thoughts are there still, always. And with all that floating around in my head, I can't talk to MC about how I feel about him. What if that gets him more emotionally invested, and then it'll get hurt even more when I go and screw things up. Even if I don't leave, I'll screw up and hurt him sooner or later. Sayori. Your fears are liars. I'm not saying that you have feelings for MC, but if you do, you should absolutely tell him. I don't know much about love, but I know that love is never the problem. That love itself is never the problem. It's all the complicated and other feelings that mess with love that cause the problem. You should tell him. You should tell him that you're worried about hurting him. Well, first of all, you shouldn't be. Even if you are worried about it, you should work on making yourself into a you that won't hurt him so badly. He'll never be hurt by you for the reasons that you're afraid of. All those doubts, thinking you suck at stuff. He'd only be hurt by you embracing those doubts and fears. That's the thing that's really scary for him, I think. A long silence passes. We all care about you, you know. We'd be devastated if you were gone. Too many feelings. I'll think about what you said, but let's stop talking about it. For now. I'd rather just get back to being silly and lighthearted. You've got it, champ. They're about to start the movie again, I think. Let's race to the soda machine. You know, then you'll have a legitimate excuse for being all red-faced. Thank you, Natsuki. Not reading any of this Hamlet shit. I assume all those flowers mean something? They do indeed. Oh boy, here we go. She gives you the first couple meanings for free, which also tells you to look for the meaning in ones that come after. Yuri's dialogue is always so confusing to read for me. I don't know if it's anyone else, or I'm pretty sure it's just me. Super cool, good luck on the streams. Hey, thank you. Like she says, rosemary is the flower of memory, which maybe she's interested in because of the death of her father. Pansies are thoughts for it too, but it might be more accurate to say they're about mindfulness and keeping things in the forefront of your mind. So maybe there's another one that she's choosing because her dad died. Now after that it gets tricky. Fennel has the flower of flattery, while Columbines have are the flower of deceit and love. They were associated with the male infidelity. Depending on how you choose to say, Ophelia could either be mocking Claudius with this or thinking about Hamlet betraying her. This production is pretty clear, and it goes with the second, I think. This production, okay, I already did that. Rue, as the name implies, symbolizes bitterness and regret. That's where we got our modern word rue from. This is Hamlet, so everyone is ruining at this point in the play. Har har. Okay, you know, I can't read all this. I never knew flowers had all these complex meanings. It makes me love them even more. Oh, I skipped over Sailor. It's whatever. Seriously, int? Slow your roll, Shakespeare. Calm your atmosphere. Apostrophe meme. Oh my god. Why do I keep reading apostrophe as atmosphere? I am going to crash out. Holy. Anyways. Score 1 for Hamlet. And score 1 for the Gravedigger. That was a pretty rapid-fire wordplay. Shakespeare was pretty fond of word games. This is another reason to read Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. I will. Wow, that was actually pretty epic. He got it. He got there in the end. Although pretty much everyone paid a terrible price because of his foot dragging. I don't know if it's close to the end of this episode. If it is, we'll do episode 3. That was actually a pretty good idea, Yuri. It was a very literary experience. Thanks. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. Is it email time now? I'm actually starting to get kind of sleepy already. That's because of all the sweets you ate earlier. It is time for email Sayori. Do you know how to get it set up now? Yeah, I think so. Give me a sec. While she's doing that, don't forget you can email us questions by sending them to my address at... If you want to send an email, there it is, right there. So that's actually like a genius way to add to like a DDLC mod, like being able to have like the characters interact with the real world. I think that's really smart. I think that's really smart what the Club Meetings dev did there. I don't know, maybe I might make a mod. Who knows? Thank you for all your questions over the last week. We got so many. Sorry if we don't answer yours in the club. We only have time to answer a few. Okay, and there we go. That's right. Oh, right up there. Okay. Oh, this is a great question. I actually didn't get to read it. I didn't get to read it. I'm such an idiot. For me, I always need to just get my pen moving in some way to start. I like to use a really nice fountain pen with a sizable nib against the rough grain paper. I feel like I like the feel of it, and it helps me want to move the pen around on the page. That's often the key to writing anything, is just make sure you're writing something and don't worry about if it's good or makes sense. Then later you can come back and edit it if you need to. Just keep scribbling something with your pen, even if it's doodles, or if you're typing, just make sure that you keep in that typing rhythm. That's Monica's writing tip of the day. I feel like I've heard something like this before. There was plenty of original advice in that one. But back to the question. Generally, I just sit there with my pen sitting on the page until inspiration strikes. Usually I start writing something or other just to get something done, no matter what it is. A lot of the time I'm writing whatever. Many of my words end up being nonsense. Oh my, I read whatever. I'm not gonna go reread it anyways. That's probably a lot of the reasons my poems are often so abstract. Plus, my first drafts are always hideous before I edit them, and not just because of the weird distorted words. Sometimes I just kind of zone out when I'm stuck for an idea, and then I find that I rested my pen onto the page for too long. Then this huge pool of ink has soaked the pages, sometimes right through onto whatever is underneath. That's where I got the imagery for your reality from. But once I feel like I've written everything I wanted to get out, once I feel like I've written everything I want to get out, I go back and look at what I've written. And then my editing process is that I try to think about what I was trying to get across with my stream of conscious writing. Why do I keep looking back at the chat after I read a certain thing of dialogue? That's just habit at this point. And then I make it a little more presentable and orderly. I usually don't change too many of the actual words. The edits are like 80% formatting and transcribing into a new piece of paper so it looks less messy. I strongly recommend 20 random assemblages of 20 or so loosely related words in no particular order. But seriously, it's been different every time for me. I'm definitely not at the point where I can just go with the flow like Monica can. Sometimes I do start writing, and then I get on a tear where everything works. But for the most part, I have to do a lot of counting syllables on my fingers and looking in rhyming dictionaries. Especially when I try to write poems to fit a certain format. Occasionally, I try to write things down. I try to write things more freeform, but your prose has to be equally eloquent for that, kind of like Yuri's. I'm definitely not on her level of eloquence based though. Is that what I said though? Either. So basically, I'm just trying a bunch of different stuff right now and seeing what works. I almost always know what to write. I almost always know what I want to write about straight away. And I just have to find the right words to give it the right feel. For me, most of the work gets done really quickly, and then I spend a long time finding the right words or phrases for certain parts. My parents used to read me nursery rhymes and sing to me a lot growing up, so I have a pretty good feel for the matter, but rhymes sometimes give me trouble. Lost my train of thought. Anyways, sometimes after I've written something, I decide the rhyme sounds too cheesy or whatever, so I rewrite it. In general, it doesn't take me very long to write a poem though, which is convenient since a lot of time I put off writing my poems until pretty late in the week. I have plenty of ideas brewing all the time. I just have to get them on paper, which I'm usually not in the mood to do. So when the mood finally hits, I'm able to write it all down really fast. At the risk of sounding pretentious, like that's ever stopped you. Oh my god. Atmosphere is also really important to me. I really need the right environment to begin with. A quiet, clean, slightly dark room with a fresh smell really helps me feel creative. I don't usually drink tea at the time though. It's distracting. I really emphasize with Monica about I really emphasize with what Monica said about having a good scratchy feeling pen and paper. The tactile part of the experience is very important. It's what makes you feel like it's what makes your writing feel weighty and grave, like you're etching in a stone. Usually for my poems, I just want to represent how I feel or some idea I have with one or several visual images. Think about it this way. Think about the number 8 now, just visually in your head. Do you see it in letters or do you just see the number? Does it have a color? People often have internal colors they associate with numbers without even thinking about it, especially with the 1-digit numbers. I'm tired, bro. It is 1 in the morning. God damn. 8 is kind of orange for me, but to get back to the point, visualizing everything, even things that aren't normally visual, helps in writing poems. I probably over rely on visualizing things and describing them as gracefully as I can. Sometimes it's kind of a crutch that limits what I write about and how I write about it. But it's a technique that results in poems that I really like. Although I didn't really do that for my tea poem this week. That one was just me writing down all the wonderful things about tea I could think of. Maybe I ought to try that more often, given the reaction you got from the club. You totally should. Although you pretty quickly run out of things you love as much as tea. That's certainly true. For me, I like my poems to have a big impact. So when I write, it's a little like writing a joke. You've got to have a really good punchline. Except instead of being funny, it has to be something that makes the reader suddenly stop and think. Yeah. And then like, oh, I get it. Honestly, that part's not hard. It just takes a little bit of cleverness. The hard part is having an idea that's worth writing about in the first place. So you have to constantly be on the lookout for ideas. I've gotten a little better about recently using. I gotten a little better recently using stuff from my life rather than just the generic bullshit. It's almost forgotten. It's almost gotten reflexive at this point, which is good, I think. Like when my soccer coach was lecturing me, I was thinking, oh, this man is gonna make for a great poem. So yeah, I guess my process slowly becomes weirder and weirder, becomes a weirder and weirder person until I'm an unrecognizable poem machine. Why does MC look so pissed off? Like, what is he? Hold on, I'm gonna move my webcam real quick. Oh, why does he look so aggravated? Am I the only one who noticed that? Oh. Next question, if you would say, Yori. I'm sure that MC didn't get to talk. Well, no, he did get to talk. Oh my god, I forgot. But what makes bro look so aggravated? Is that just how he naturally looks? You watch anime, what's your favorite? I'm gonna go in and answer this too. My current favorite right now is actually a not so well known anime. It's called Left Hand Layup. It is a Chinese sub anime. There's another name for it. I forgot what it's called. It's a basketball anime. And let me tell you, I'm not gonna say much in case those who are actually watching want to go watch it for themselves. It's on Crunchyroll, but these animators definitely know about basketball. That's all I'm gonna say. I've never really watched anime. I mean, I've been around while it's been on, but I haven't really seen anything to know about most of the shows, about what most of the shows are, or whether I like them. It's just something I never really gotten into. I've seen one anime series all the way through, but it's been the only one I've ever bothered with. It's been... I'm not gonna pronounce that. So I guess my favorite by default. It's very well written and pretty layered. It's very well written. It's a pretty layered story with very rich characters. Even though its overall plot isn't that complicated, the story succeeds in getting emotional, getting emotional buy-in based on the characters' interactions. It's full of some pretty great and literary devices. It's chock full of allusions and metaphors. I guess that I like the visual style too. It's not the most impressive, but it's effective, and it keeps focus on the characters. Other than that, I haven't really watched anime, at least not comprehensively. Alright, time for you guys to receive wisdom from the real anime fans around here. I definitely watch anime. Probably not as much as MC and Natsuki, but I definitely watch more than most people. I really like slice of life animes in general, or just lighthearted stuff. Overly dramatic and tragic stuff is not what I need most of the time. Like, that is cool, but I always feel bad for everyone in it. Poor Shinji. Yeah, Rei and Asuka too. Poor everyone. Anyway, first one doesn't really count as an anime, but it's a movie. Because it's a movie, but it's sort of the same. I love Kiki's Delivery Service. I'm not gonna spoil any of it in case you guys haven't seen it yet, but go watch it seriously. For actual anime like TV shows, let's see. My absolute favorite, I can get it down to 2, but I can't choose between these two, which is odd because one of them is pretty silly and the other one is fairly serious and artistic. It's kind of like saying it can't be picked between a classical symphony or a pop hit as my favorite song. But I think that sometimes things can be good even if they are considered less high art by most people. Anyway, so my favorites are Non Biori and Hayori Naruko-san. never heard of either of those. Yaruko-san is the silly one. I was watching it last week with MC. It had fun action sequences, a lot of anime references, and it's hilarious and zany. Sometimes it's pretty racy. Please tell me that says racy, whatever. But that's part of the fun, and it was totally harmless in the end. Never goes too far. Now, on the other hand, Non-Biyori is just a very beautiful show. If you haven't, if you've never heard of it, it's basically about the kids who attend this elementary school way out in the country, with not many people around. Focuses on their lives and their interactions with each other, and what life is like in such a rural area. Nothing really happens much in the show. It's just bits of their lives, and you get to gradually get to know them. All the characters are super adorable, and the story really gives you the warm fuzzies. If you ever need to warm up a cold, sad heart, you should watch that anime. So yeah, those two are my favorite. So yeah, that one's my favorite for having fun, and Non-Biyori is my favorite for when I'm feeling happy. Okay, so I have a single favorite, but I have to give some honorable mentions first. You can't call yourself a true anime unless you've tried Cowboy Bebop, Kill la Kill, and Ghost in the Shell. I've never heard any of them, but my personal favorites of mine aren't objectively required. That aren't objectively required to include One Piece and Go on, Natsuki. Tell them it's not to be ashamed of, even if it does get the harsh, unrelenting mockery from your friends. Naruto. Okay? It's a fun show, and I dare you to say otherwise. My favorite anime, though, and it's like objectively true, it's fucking JoJo. It's got everything you need in an anime. Honestly, I'm gonna have to disagree with that. I'm not really a big fan of like the style that they went for with like the insane amount of detail in the characters. I don't know. It's just kind of a weird show to me. Anyways. It's got action, it's got adventure, it's got insane, hilarious comedy, it's got a great story. It's also got the ability to occasionally make you feel like you just took a bunch of drugs. That has got to be the best way I've ever seen anybody put an anime. This is true. And that's part of its appeal. Also, it's certified God tier. Also, as a certified God tier meme lord, JoJo has like the best memes by far, and plenty of them. So final answer, JoJo, deal with it. Most of the shows everyone mentioned so far, I would agree are top tier. Naruto-san is really fun, and I enjoyed watching it, but it's not quite the same level of artistry as a lot of them. But Non-Biyori is really top notch. That the classic too. Most of Natsuki's list was really good stuff that you should watch, except for Naruto. And JoJo is great, but Natsuki's insane for thinking it's the best anime. You watch your mouth. So on my list, first of all, hey Yuri, yes? If you ever do want to get into watching anime, I have the perfect one for you. What's that? It's called Death Note. Of course, brilliant college. See? I had a feeling that was coming. I had a feeling Yuri would be a Death Note fan. I know, thank you. What do you think I would like it? So what, this guy's walking along, and you would believe it. He's a loner and high school student. Can you imagine? Yeah. Anyways, he's walking through his school and he finds this notebook. Turns out that if you know someone's name and face, you can write their name in this book and they'll die. And you could specify a cause of death. No matter what, they will always die exactly as you say. The show is all about how this level of power corrupts people, it corrupts people no matter how good their intentions are. It actually does sound very interesting. I'll have to give it a try. So yeah, I like Death Note. I guess my guilty pleasure anime are Bleach and Full Metal Alchemist. They're kind of a passe nowadays. Steins Gate is very close to being my favorite. It's not quite there, but it's tied second. My other not quote favorite is Code Geass and the Ultimate Mecha anime. It's the Ultimate Mecha anime. It shares elements with Evangelion, I think. I don't know. In that it has mecha and it uses a lot of allusions and metaphors, especially religious ones. But I like the feel, but the feel is very different. Evangelion is angsty and focuses on the small part of the world. Code Geass, is more epic and grand and filled with all the big war stuff guys like. Well, yeah, but there's more than that. Well, yeah, but there's more to it than just the violence of it. I like the political scheming and strategy stuff. And yeah, I definitely watch Code Geass. But my actual favorite anime, which hopefully needs no explanation, is One Punch Man. Next question. What's your favorite leg? What? I don't get this one. Do they mean Natsuki's left leg, right leg, left leg, or just any leg? Either way, I'm not so sure what the point is. Guys, I've got this. Well, anonymous emailer, I like all kinds of legs. You know, like the great leg, the leg of good hope, tape leg? I guess she's done. I'm done. Everything is normal, everything's fine, nothing's ruined. It's over! We are definitely getting memed on without understanding memes. Yes, you are. Next. Okay. Wow. It seems more like lyrics than a poem, really. Obviously, the subject matter isn't really something you'd associate with fine art. The emailer clearly thinks you're fine. Oh my gosh. The emailer clearly thinks you're fine, Monica. Not what I meant. Anyway, the other lines about not caring if I have a good personality or intelligent makes me a little sad, joke or no. Because remember, you guys, we don't really like to be objectified. Unless we know you really well. But I do appreciate the sentiment, and don't worry, I wouldn't delete you. Now, if you're genuinely interested in the constructive criticism of this poem, make sure you stay on theme. I probably got a little bit of a cold. Anyways, something on my monitor. You started off just talking about thighs. I didn't even get to read the freaking poem, dude. You started off talking about thighs, and I think you realized you just wanted to talk about us in general through the poem. But you're going to write a poem about thighs, then try to keep the poem focused on that topic. Secondly, some of the force of what you wrote didn't come through because it's stuff that's been said before. My thighs have been so-called thick so often that it doesn't really convey much anymore. It's just a meme. Poems work best when they convey sensations or thoughts that are novel to the reader, using novel words or phrases. So even if you wanted to write about my thighs, damn it, not again, dude. Which honestly seems normal to me. I just play volleyball and do fencing and get a lot of leg exercise. But anyway, Even if you wanted to write about that topic, you should approach it from a novel perspective. I am going to lose my shit. I keep dropping magnets. There they are. Okay. Magnets, setting them to the side. Like for instance, maybe you consider a sense that it hasn't been considered before, like the warmth or symmetry of the thighs, rather than something that's coming as a thickness. Why is this topic going on for so long? Or maybe consider a new perspective. Like if we're doing the lap pillow thing, what would that be like? Convey a novel sense to the reader of that experience, you know? What Monica's saying is that even if you're going to write a lewdish creeper poem, be tasteful and artistic about it. Basically, yeah. But I'm flattered all the same. So tell last time you were it was so good. I don't have a question. Just want to say how good it was. Monica, why are you best girl? Damn, dude. Okay. It was really good. The lewd parts aren't really that lewd. They're just more cute. Honestly, I think the whole thing is pretty charming. I mean, it's not a deep, meaningful story or anything. It's just fun to watch. I just talked about Naruto, so I won't say much more. But we're getting really close to be done with the first season. After we're done with that, I'll probably have MC watch some of the OVA episodes. Like the ones where Naruto becomes a magical girl. She what? Yeah, they just said that let's build a magical girl instead of a henshin hero. So they try to get her to switch. And how does that go? You'll find out when we watch. Okay, next question is for you, Natsuki. I don't like that I don't know what you guys see or not. It wasn't that big a deal, really. I'm just occasionally really overwhelmed with all this, with the whole nature of the reality thing. It gets weird trying to cope with it sometimes. But if you guys ever get hit with the idea of your own mortality and have it freak you out, it's kind of like that. Damn. I cannot stop yawning. Anyways. I'm just having a little trouble with it right now. Don't worry so much. I'll be okay. Next one's for you, Yuri. Oh, I see. Thank you. I did put quite a lot of effort into it. I did put quite a lot of work into it. It seemed more important than a lot of other poems I've written. Felt like I needed to encapsulate the whole experience of the club of the literature club into a poem. So I'm very pleased you enjoyed it. And last but not least, I'm so happy you think of me that way. But if this experience has taught me anything, it's that the whole framework of best girl is bad for us, and we need to stick together. I don't really think that you could say that any of us is truly objectively best girl. But maybe I'm your best girl. God damn. Why is she so flirty? And if I am, then why is your question? Well, I don't want to brag too much or anything, but I do have a few things going for me. Hopefully you can appreciate how much I care about you and the lengths I was willing to go for you. Loving someone a lot is a good way to get them to love you back. Sometimes, at least, if you don't overdo it. Okay, I know I said I was gonna do the next episode, but I'll just do that on Thursday. But I also like to think that my maturity, intelligence, and strength of character is a factor. And I'm flattered that some of you And I'm flattered that some of you guys really like my physical attributes, like the guy who wrote the thigh poem. Anyway, I think it's about time to stop answering emails for now. Let's start breaking down the computer setup, guys. You know what? Let's do a vote. If anyone's here, let's do a vote. How do I start a poll? How do I start a poll? I start a poll. Yes. Then we do another episode. If not, then we don't do another episode. Then we do it on Thursday. That is if the chat wants to load up on my screen. Anyways, okay everyone. We are way past time to go home, so I'll make this quick. For viewers, don't forget to email your questions at... We answer emails from you every week, as you just saw. And as for the club, for next week, let's do poems about nature this time. But also, your poem can't be anything... But also, your poem can't be anything to do with anyone else in the literature club or anything that's happened with the literature club. How do I... There we go, start a poll. Okay, the poll has been started. But also, your poem can't really... Okay, I already did that. It has to actually be about nature. Okay, club is adjourned. See you guys soon. Hey, MC, are we walking home together today? Of course we are. Why? I thought maybe you were mad at me or something. You weren't there on the walk to school this morning, so I thought that you weren't really wanting to anymore. Sayori, we always walk to and from school together. I missed this morning because I slept through my alarm. I'm sorry that I've been weird all day. I'm just tired. Are you sure? You could tell me if you can tell me if you don't really want to go with me. You don't have to spare my feelings. I totally understand if you didn't. Look, I always want to. That's not gonna change. Sayori, when something bad happens, it's not automatically your fault. I was the one being a jerk today, not you. And instead of being mad at me before, you just took the blame. Probably because you felt upset and assumed it must have been something wrong with you. You're allowed to feel mad at people if your feelings are hurt, okay? Now come on, it's getting late. Hello. Hi Yuri. Heading out? Yeah, I was thinking about what you said earlier, and I would like to walk part of the way with you guys. Well, only if that's okay, of course. Of course it's okay. It's okay, right, MC? We'd be glad to have you along. And then he turned to the doctor and said, because I'm a moth. MC's staring in the opposite direction, not paying attention. Yuri whispers to Sayori. MC's still somewhat distant, huh? Yeah, he's been kind of warming up just before. Yeah, he was kind of warming up just before we left the club. But right now, he's back to being grumpy. At least just cold and distant. I see. Hey, MC. Oh, what's up, Yuri? Did anyone ever tell you about the time Monica fell asleep during the club? Excuse me. Yuri, we said we'd never tell that story. We said we'd never tell it to anyone outside of the literature club. And MC's in the literature club. So one day, MC, we were all in the literature club and Monica was late. She had just taken this really stressful physics exam. And she had studied hard for it. Probably too hard. Sayori, Natsuki and I were in the club talking about something or other. And Monica comes basically stumbling in through the door. It was like she was barely conscious. The exam had taken everything she had, so she walks in, and what was it she said exactly Sayori? She said, Sayori clears with her best impression of Monica using her leadership voice. Okay, everyone, go literature time. Then she fell asleep on the desk so fast her head made an audible thunk sound. We all go about our business for an hour or so. And at one point, Natsuki comes over and says, is she okay? We all look at Monica. Because she actually become draped over the desk. so far forward that her head and arms were hanging over the front, halfway to the ground. Her legs were just kind of dangling off the back. It was like a tablecloth. She was also drooling onto the floor. She was also drooling down, and she was drilling down onto the floor. It was kind of gross, but also pretty adorable. See, and Sayori and I started to have a very, very kindly considerate discussion about how we could wake her up without freaking her out. And in the middle of the discussion, Natsuki gets... That's something I would do. I'm gonna like... Damn, it's been 2 hours? And in the middle of the discussion, Natsuki gets tired of waiting for us and just kicks one of the desk's legs and yells, "Hey, Monica!" She was so startled that she fell forward onto the floor, and her drool puddle sort of rolled into her drool puddle, sort of rolled forward before she realized that she had been asleep. She yelled out, "And that's Monica's writing tip of the day." How undignified. Well, it's been a long day, but I think that finally shook me out of my funk. What a story. Thanks for cheering me up, Yuri. You're quite welcome. Well, this is where I turn left, and you guys turn right. Bye, guys. See you soon, Yuri. Bye, Yuri. Oh, that was awfully kind of her. Sure was. Is that it? Natsuki lies in bed, singing softly to herself. I'm not tired. She starts humming random bits of different songs. Okay, sleep. I'm sleeping now. Damn it. Natsuki pulls out a phone and starts texting with someone labeled as Girl. You up? Yeah, you too? Yeah, I can't sleep. What you doing? Actually out at a bar. Lucky. You better have a safe ride home. I'm the designated driver. Good. Did you have a good day today? Kinda. Hard to explain. But mostly good. Did you see your friends? Yeah. Would text them, but they'd probably be bugged if I texted them this late. So instead, I said you get to be bugged. You know I don't mind. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go now. People starting to feel comfy. Have a good sleep. Oh, hello, Cole. I honestly like the fact with this mod that, like, the MC is, like, a separate character, and then, like, the actual, like, I guess I would say, like, quote-unquote, the actual MC, kind of, is the player. And you're going through the perspective of, like, and pretty much, like, you're kind of in control of the game. I don't know if that's a good way to explain it, but that's how I explained it. So deal with it. I'm just playing. I didn't expect you to be so late. I'm happy that you're here, though. You caught me in the middle of getting a late night snack. It's like you're still up working on my poem for next week. What? Put some dry shit on my lip. Anyways. Although it's generous, I've just thrown away like 3 drafts. None of them were much good. But at least they started to make me sleepy. So I figured I'd come down here, drink some milk, and eat a small bit of chocolate. That usually puts me right to sleep. Anyways, I guess the game is going around to everyone, and it's almost time for you to go. But I wish you could stay. Maybe if you're about to go to sleep too, we could try to dream together. Of course, even dreams probably don't work across realities. Even after my little fix to our world lets us have real dreams, but I'll be happy if only you're there in my dream. Good night, Cole. No. Late usual. That mean? Okay, what? No. I tried. How could... MC pants breathlessly for a moment in a cold sweat. No more. I just want to sleep. Just let me sleep. Damn, bro is going through it. I guess maybe a normal person would have been mad at him. He's the only one who didn't come out. And then he was mad at me. But I'm not mad at him. Don't even think about it. I love him. Doesn't count, doesn't count, doesn't count. Doesn't count, doesn't count if I don't say it out loud. Doesn't count. Should be mad, you know. Why should I be mad? You don't remember what he said? Probably because you felt upset and assumed there must be something wrong with you. You're allowed to feel mad at people if your feelings are hurt, okay? You're allowed to feel mad at people if your feelings are hurt. He said that, and you love him. Totally doesn't count, but you trust him. Yes. So you should be mad if your feelings are hurt. And your feelings are hurt. No, they're not. Yes, they are. No, this is just my depression. This is just my depression. It's just my depression. No, it isn't. Your depression is over here. This is... It's doormat, or I guess was doormat. Pathetic. Even when you're not depressed, you're still thinking about being depressed. Stop thinking, turn over, put your face in the pillow, put your face in your pillow and cry yourself to sleep, like always. Shut up, I'm in charge now. Like I said, your feelings are hurt, you're angry. So it's time to be mad. You're allowed, he said so. Why am I mad? You love him. Doesn't count. But why would that be a reason to be mad? Remember? Only if it's okay, of course. We'd be glad to have you along. And then he turns to the doctor and says, because I'm a moth. Hehe. It's just what someone doesn't, huh? Hey, MC. Did anyone ever tell you about the time Monica fell asleep during club? It's been a long day, but I think that finally shook me out of my funk. Thanks for cheering me up, Yuri. I'll see you soon, Yuri. That bitch. God damn, bro. Holy. Oh my god. No, that is not justified anger. It's just jealousy. And it's stupid jealousy. She was trying to be nice and help him feel better. She was. Because you couldn't help him feel better. It was an opportunity for her. She wants him. She wants to take him away from you. No, she doesn't. It's a thing. It was a thing any friend might do. And I was okay with him being... And I was always okay with him being with someone else. That's the whole point of bringing him out. That's right. It's too stupid to feel angry. It's too stupid to feel anything. Why would you feel angry at her for doing what's obviously right? You couldn't help him feel better. You never can. You want him to be happy, don't you? You want to be happy with her, away from you. Just let it be. You don't need to do anything. Stare straight ahead. Stare. No, he's yours. You grew up with him. She has no right. How self-absorbed can you be? He's not yours. You have no right with him. You were poison to him. How dare she? You're just bringing suffering to everyone around you. I guess yours next, huh? No, she's my friend. She's a thief and a liar. You see this? This is what you get if you even think for a second. This is what you get if you even think for a second and that you mean anything. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut up. Sarah quickly looks around the room. Oops. Just close your eyes and you'll be okay. Everything's okay. Next time she fucking looks at him, you punch her in the face. Everything's okay. Stay strong. I'm coming. Worthless. 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 Everything's okay. Everything's okay. You're safe now. Not for long. Everything's okay. She sleeps. My god, how much longer is this episode? Okay. I'm gonna get through this. Teeth brushed, ready for bed. It is definitely past time for it, too. Okay, now the blind trip from the bathroom to the bed. There's the bedpost. Well, that was quite the day. I'm so happy everyone liked my poem so much. And everyone watched Hamlet. That was scary at first, but everyone ended up liking it, I think. It's unsettling that the game was watching me, though. I wonder if it's watching me now. Hello? Are you there? I guess even if you are, you don't have a way to tell me. I probably shouldn't worry about it. Like I said, it's definitely better if we just ignore it. I wish Monica didn't know, though. We never have to know she didn't. But be careful what you wish for. I guess she'd probably trade that away in a second to be rid of everything else. Poor Monica. Well, she seemed happy today, but MC seemed more or less happy today. But he ended up being okay, and I was able to help. That really feels great. I'm so glad to have such wonderful friends. I really do love them, all of them. Thanks to them, today was quite lovely. See you next week. Don't forget to email Your questions for Monica. Email us right down there if you guys want to email or something for season 4. We should check the credits.txt file. Okay, blah 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 blah. Alright. Should we do another episode? That is up to you guys in the poll. I don't think anybody's here, so I'm gonna do another episode anyway. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm tired. So I'm not in a reading, like that reading state right now. On Thursday, I will be doing episode 3. So, oh crap. Well, I just closed that Opera GX, didn't mean to, but I will see you guys in